Okay, this is cause number M333570. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Stephen Baker. Mr. Baker is appearing via telephone at attorney's Max Soldner's office. Mr. Baker, how are you doing? Mr. Baker, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Baker?
I'm doing okay.
Oh, that's good. Now, Mr. Baker, your attorney of record is that Vivek Vida Nere. Let me see. Okay, Vida Naranian. That's the attorney of record. However, appearing for your attorney of record is Mr. Attorney Max Soelner. Does Mr. Soelner have your permission to stand in for your attorney of record?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Now, Mr. Soelner, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Mr. Soelner, what is your announcement in Mr. Baker's case?
We would like to request a reset.
Okay, hold on a minute. Give us a reset date. Mr. Baker, your case will be reset to June 19th of 2023. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Now, if this case is gonna, if you're gonna enter a plea on that date, you need to be here. You and your attorney needs to be here in person. But at this time, your case will be reset to June 19th, 2023. You're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Attorney Soelner, a reset will be sent to your firm. You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day. And the time is on June 19th of 2023 is at 9 a.m. in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, in Beaumont, Texas.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session and calls number M333042. The case is style of State of Texas versus Lene McKenna Trahan. Ms. Trahan, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Trahan, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Trahan, you may put your hand down. Ms. Trahan, is your full name Lene McKenna Trahan?
It's actually
Laney.
Laney.
Laney?
Yeah.
Laney McKenna Trahan. And how are you doing, Ms.
I'm
Trahan?
good, Your Honor.
I'm doing fine. Ms. Trahan, you're represented in this case by your attorney of record, Mr. John West. Attorney West, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor, thanks.
Mr. West, do you waive a record in Ms. Trahan's case?
We do, Your Honor.
Ms. Trahan, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about May 8th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you, Laney McKenna Trahan, committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Now, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph that state that this was a 0.15 or more. So instead of being charged with a Class A misdemeanor offense, Class A misdemeanor DWI, you're being charged with a Class B misdemeanor DWI. And basically, it will just state that on or about the same day of May 8th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Ms. Trahan, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to discharge Ms. Trahan, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I'm guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Trahan, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Ms. Trahan, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that is checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
On the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled Defendant? There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Ms. Trahan, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney, Mr. West, go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Trahan, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
State would, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
I think it has to be dated. No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. West, you advised and counseled Ms. Trahan. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor, not at all.
Ms. Trahan, your attorney, Mr. West, has advised and counseled you Are you satisfied with his representation?
Absolutely.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. West, Ms. Trahan, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for a plea of guilty, the state's agreed to recommend, first of all, to abandon the enhancement allegation, second paragraph of the information, Your Honor. And in exchange for a plea of guilty to the lesser included charge of DWI first offense, state agrees to recommend 180 days probated for 12 months, a $500 fine, court costs, 80-hour community service, and standard DWI conditions and that are done by probation, and any other condition deemed appropriate by probation.
Okay, hold on a minute. Waiting for this. Okay. I just noticed, I was looking at her court costs. They have the wrong amount in the, when I looked at the court costs here, it has a $1,000 fine. It should be a $500 fine. Okay. Yeah, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay. Okay. On 67. Okay. It's supposed to be 500. Let me do this here. I got it figured out. Okay. Okay, so court, Miss Trahan, the state is offering, hold on a minute, Mr. 180 over a year, 580. DWI education and now, would you please repeat the offer?
Your Honor, 180 days probated for 12 months, $500 fine, court costs, 80 hours community service, and all standard terms and conditions for DWI.
That's a DWI
First,
education,
urine alcohol assessment, urine analysis.
drug and alcohol assessment. Okay. So Ms. Strahan, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $422. You'll also be required to pay $60 a month for a probation fee. You'll be required to pay $15 a month for a urinalysis fee, and you'll be required to pay a reimbursement fee of $15. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, in this case, is $167 each month. Will you be able to pay $167 each month?
Yes, Your Honor.
You'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete a DW education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment. You'll also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Ms. Trahan, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you think that the state's offer is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer? Ms. Trahan, I'll follow the pre-bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Trahan, this will conclude your case. We're going to ask that you have a seat because our clerk has to draft up the paperwork, and it may take a little time. Once you get the paperwork, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. West, you'll be free to go and you have a
Thank
blessed
you.
day. And this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket, pretrial conference docket, and the trial docket. All three dockets are scheduled at 9 a.m. today, April 10th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Everyone